Hi guys, today we're back reading IceBreaker, #1 New York Times bestseller by Hannah Grace, Chapter 3. You can check my page for chapters 1 through 2. Also, this is a reminder that this is like a live reading with commentary because this is my first time reading this. So you're going to get my reaction as I read it too. And it's recommended that you put this in like 2x speed or something because I read like really slow. But yeah, Chapter 3, Anastasia. Page 22. My planner is in total, irreparable chaos, and I'm irritated as hell. This is the opposite of the Friday feeling people so famously love. Today was going to be a problem-free day. I woke up under a beautiful man, and the rest of the day was planned to perfection. Gym, college, training with Aaron, dinner, and finally dancing until my feet hurt at whichever party sounded the most fun. I even had the option to see Ryan again and concentrate on scratching those mutual itches he's got if he's still got time. But according to my very passive-aggressive email I received, David Skinner, Maple Hills Director of Sports, doesn't give a flying fuck about my planner or my training schedule, and he certainly doesn't give a fuck about my sex life. Oh my gosh, these guys are freaky as fuck. Anyways, why else would he universally cancel training and drag every student-athlete to the worst corner of campus? This building is where all the coaches lurk and plot on how to make us all miserable. When I posted a picture this morning that said, "Just enjoy where you are now," I didn't realize where I was going to be was a huge line of students trying to get into the awards room. I am lost and angry, borderline murderous thoughts when two muscular arms wrap around my waist from behind, and I feel lips gently press against the crown of my head. Instantly knowing it's Ryan, I settle into his embrace and tilt my head back to look at him. He moves and pecks a kiss to my forehead, and sure, I might feel a little better. Hey, beautiful girl. Oh my gosh. That's so cringy. I would never. I'm stressed. I grumble, looking ahead to watch the line shuffle along. And you're cutting in line. You're gonna get in trouble. Gripping my shoulders, he spins me around and face him. His long finger nudging under my chin, tilting my head to meet his and his gigantic height. When I think he can't be any freaking cuter, he brushes my hair from my face and smiles at me. You control the planner's stats. The planner doesn't control you. Okay. You're still cutting in line. He chuckles, shrugging. You were holding my spot for me. That's what I told everyone I pushed past. Come on. What sickeningly motivational quote did you post today? Do we need to revisit it? Ryan and I started hooking up last year when we met at a party and were beer pong partners. Naturally, we won because we're the most stubborn and competitive people within a 100-mile radius of Maple Hills. The next day, he slid into my DMs, joking he wasn't expecting to find someone who plays drinking games so aggressively, preaching about positive vibes only on their social media pages. Since then, whenever I'm grumpy or fed up, he reminds me I'm supposed to be a ray of sunshine. Dick. Well, he asks, guiding me along as we get closer to the entrance. It was about stopping to enjoy the moment you're in. His smile widens and he realizes he's got me. Okay, yeah, I can work with that. It sucks practice was canceled, but if you enjoy the moment, you're hanging out with me and I'm great. Folding my arms across his chest, I'm trying my hardest to stop the smile threatening to break through, continuing to pretend he's not having an impact on my mood. Tough crowd, geez. As soon as we get out of here, I'll take you for food. And later, there's a hockey party we can hit to let you blow off all your stressy energy. What else? I let him spin me back around, now that we're only a few people standing away from the finally getting into the room, and his hands stay on my shoulders. I'll take you home and I'll let you take out any remaining stress on my body. What the fuck? These mofos are freaky as hell. With a bat? His fingers sink into my tense muscles, rhythmically working out every knot as I roll my head side to side. Kinky. Will you dress up as Harley Quinn too? In public, though? Y'all are doing this in public? Oh my gosh. He grunts loudly as my elbows sink into his ribs, which is ridiculously dramatic because my elbow is definitely hurting more. After what feels like a lifetime of waiting, we finally make it through the entrance to the awards room. Instead of a normal round table, the room has rows upon rows of chairs facing the stage. What the hell is going on? Ignoring my immediate concern, Ryan insists I enjoy the moment, which roughly translates to me being forced to sit with the basketball team. Now that I'm wedged between Ryan and Mason Wright, his teammate, who makes my respectable 5'4" body look like an overgrown toddler. Chip. I struggle to look at the bag of Lay's shoved under my nose, but they smell like barbecue flavor, which Ryan knows is my favorite. I'm good, thanks. He leans forward to dig into the bag at his feet, rustling loudly, not caring our people staring at us. Throwing himself back into his seat with a huff, he holds out a packet. Cookie? No, thank you. I'm not hungry. I'm trying not to draw attention to us again, but it's hard to ignore the look of disappointment on his face. Don't you look at me like that. Regionals are right around the corner, and I can't gain weight. Ryan slouches in his seat so our heads are level, and he leans in to give us more privacy. His breath dances across my skin, and his lips hover beneath my ear, sending a wave of goosebumps across my entire body. As someone who throws you around quite a lot, I feel like I'm qualified to say this. If that jackass isn't able to cope with your weight fluctuates a few pounds, which is perfectly normal, by the way, he shouldn't be your partner. We're not having this conversation again, Ryan. He starts cutting himself off when the director, Skinner, finally rolls onto stage, squinting under the spotlights. Ryan sits back up straight and rests his hands on my thighs, squeezing softly. Maybe we'll need a bat later? Oh my gosh, in public though? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Ew, that's gross. These are the people I can't stand in public. The high-pitched squeal of the microphone turning on echoes around the room, causing everyone to wince. Skinner has to take his place behind the podium but hasn't managed to force a smile yet. He's aged a lot in the time I've studied at UCMH. He previously looked approachable and eager, but now with the disdain he's sporting deepened the lines on his forehead. He looks anything but. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking time to come here on such short notice. I'm sure you're all wondering why you're here. I don't know why he's pretending like the email didn't have the word compulsory in bold capital letters. Skinner shrugs off his suit jacket, hanging it over the chair behind him, sighing as he turns to face us all again. He drags a hand over his gray, thinning hair, which I swear used to be thick and black when I was a freshman. There's a certain expectation when dealing with college students. It's a given there will be some level of chaos as you begin your lives as adults away from home. He sighs again, his exhaustion clear. When you add competitive sports into the mix, the balance changes as you try to manage your skill against the authentic college experience. Well, this is patronizing. It feels like he's made his secretary write a little speech, and he practiced it in the mirror a few times. If Lo were here, she'd be highly critical of his performance. Some of you have been enjoying the college experience a little too much. Here we go. In the 5 years I've been director of sport, I have dealt with countless avoidable situations. Out-of-control parties, medical expenses due to students behaving recklessly on campus, more pranks than I can count, unplanned pregnancy, and the noise of Michael Fletcher's chair scraping across the floor rings out as he springs to his feet. Mr. Fletcher, please take a seat. Fletch ignores him, bending to grab his bag from the floor instead. He stomps towards the exit, pushing both doors open with force, fully leaving the room. I don't know a lot about football, but everyone says Fletch is the best linebacker this college has ever seen and practically guaranteed a spot in the NFL when he graduates. More importantly, he's an incredibly proud father to his little girl, Dia, who he had with his girlfriend Preeshi last year. Preeshi was on the skate team with me before she accidentally became pregnant at the start of our junior year. When I asked her if she'd be returning, she said her bladder isn't what it used to be after pushing out a 9-pound baby, and she didn't fancy peeing on the ice in front of an audience. They live together with their friends, and everyone takes turns looking after the baby, allowing Fletch and Preeshi to go to class. The fact Skinner is using them as an example in his delinquent student bashing exercise is shitty of him. 20 minutes pass, and he's still going. I rest my hand against Ryan's shoulder and close my eyes, accepting the cookie he sneaks into the palm of my hand. To summarize, finally, going forward, there will be a zero-tolerance approach to misappropriation of your status on campus. Besides me, Ryan snorts, shoving another cookie into his mouth. When I open my mouth to ask what's so funny, he shoves one into me, grinning like a fool because I have no choice but to eat it. Skinner finally runs out of energy. He leans against the podium and his shoulders sag. I don't care what your potential is. If you don't fall in line, you will be benched. I'd like the skating and hockey team to stay behind, but the rest of you are dismissed. Ryan grabs his bag from the floor and stands, stretching and letting out an over-exaggerated yawn. I'll wait for you outside. Food? I give him a nod, creeping onto my tippy toes to wipe the cookie crumbs from the corner of his mouth with my thumb. Hopefully I won't be long. Everyone, bar the 50-ish of us, filter out the room, ironically about 5 times quicker than they filtered in. Brad and Faulkner, the ice hockey team coach, joined Director Skinner on stage. Come closer, everyone. I'm tired of this microphone. As we all head to the front row of the room as requested, I spot an annoying-looking Aaron in the crowd and move to his side. You okay? I ask quietly as we take a seat in the front row. Yep. It doesn't take a genius to know he isn't in a great mood, but this feels directed at me, not at Skinner. You sure? His lips are pulled in a tight line, as he hasn't looked at me yet. Yep. Skinner steps out from behind his podium and pushes his hands into his suit pant pockets, his tired, sunken eyes scanning those of us left. I'll make this quick. Following what can only be labeled as a colossal shit show, Arena 2 is out of action for the foreseeable future. Oh, God. An investigation is underway into how extensive the damage was caused, but I'm told there will be significant delays when it comes to repairs due to a shortage of parts for our particular equipment. The realization doesn't wash over me. It fucking drowns me. The hockey team is known for causing trouble with rival teams, and each other usually. The spoiled rich boy to hockey team pipeline thrives at this school. I'd wish I'd put money on one of them being the culprit. What this means for you, Skinner continues, is you will need to share the rink until repairs are complete, and I expect you will all work together to make this situation work. Oh, I know where this book is heading. Oh, I see. Clearly then knowing the number of questions about to come his way, Skinner proves he doesn't actually care about us and immediately dips. He's not even off the stage before I'm storming over to Coach Brady. We have regionals in 5 weeks. I'm well aware of your competition schedule, Anastasia. Coach Brady drawls, waving off some of the underclassmen as they attempt to crowd around when I'm very close to having a meltdown. We have no other option, so it isn't worth getting upset over. Is she for real? How are we going to qualify if we can't practice? 10 feet away, Coach Faulkner is flanked by his own team. I would imagine fending off the same concerns. Not like I care. They obviously caused this mess, and now we're the ones who are going to suffer. I'm trying not to catastrophize, to not blow this out of proportion in my head. I'm concentrating on breathing in and out, and not bawling uncontrollably in front of strangers. When I listen to my teammates voice the same concerns, when I let my eyes drift back over the hockey team, most of them have gone. There's one guy talking to Faulkner, and he must feel me watching him because his eyes meet mine. He's looking at me with a weird expression on his face, a forced pity grimace, I think. Frankly, he can take his fake sympathy and shove it up his ass. We'll talk about this at practice, Stacy, Brady says, offering a rare, almost borderline friendly smile. Enjoy a Friday evening off for once. I'll see you both on Monday. After another small protest, I finally listen to Brady's pleas for me to leave her alone and head towards the exit. I'm trailing behind Aaron, dragging my feet, and feel sorry for myself when I hear a hey, and I feel a hand land on my bicep. It's Mr. Sympathy, still sporting, you guessed it, a pity pout. Listen, I'm sorry. I know it sucks for all of us. I'm going to do what I can to make it as easy as possible. He lets go of my arm, takes a step back, giving me a chance to look at him up close for the first time. He towers over me by at least a foot, broad shoulders, thick muscles, straining against the sleeve of his Henley. Even beneath a dusting of stubble, you can see the sharpness of his jawline. I'm trying to work it out if I've ever met him before when he starts talking again. I know you're probably feeling stressed, but we're having a party tonight if you want to come. And you are? I asked, forcing my voice to sound calm. I can't ignore a twinge of satisfaction when his eyebrows shoot up for a split second. Hold on, don't you have a boyfriend? He gains his composure just as quickly, amusement lighting up his deep brown eyes. Nate Hawkins. I'm the captain of the hockey team. He holds out his hand for me to shake, but I look at it, then back up at his face, folding my arms across my chest. Were you not listening? Party time is over, according to Skinner. He shrugs and reaches around to rub the back of his neck awkwardly. People will still show up regardless, even if I try to stop it. Look, come over, bring some friends or whatever. It'll be good if we could all get along, and I swear we will have good tequila. Do you have a name? I refuse to be charmed by a pretty face, not even one with little dimples and a nice cheekbones. This is still a disaster. Do you meet a lot of people who don't have names? To my surprise, he starts laughing, a heavy, rich noise that makes his cheeks flush. Okay, you've got me there. His eyes flick me as his arms lands across my shoulder. I look up, excited to find Ryan, but instead find Aaron. I shrug off his embrace, since stuff like this is what makes people assume we're dating, when I'd honestly rather eat my skates. Are you coming? He snaps. Nodding, I take one last look at my new Rink friend. He doesn't bother introducing himself to Aaron. Instead, he mouths, "Remember the party," to me. God, Lola is going to love all this drama. Okay, that is the end of chapter 3 of Icebreaker. Make sure to subscribe to be notified when I post chapter 4. Okay, bye.